Hey everybody, welcome. It's Allison Sullivan with Stamp Crazy with Allison, and I'm just going to make sure I'm live. So, just need to double check because Facebook is delayed, and I've never done a live broadcast on YouTube, so I don't know if it is delayed. So it looks like I'm good. I just need somebody to pop on and tell me that they can hear me. That's the only thing. Oh, no, it looks good. I think you can hear me. It's great. So I'll just wait for you guys to hop on. I think I can see if you found me on YouTube too, but I don't see anything. So I am live. So I'll just wait and see who's joining me. I can hear you fine. Okay, so somebody is on my Border Buddy group. Hi, Mo. Oh, great. So you got, hi, Leanne. Good morning. Oh, my goodness. I'm going to do the quick math. It's 9 a.m. in Perth, I'm going to say. Thanks, you guys, so much. So I wanted to tell you a few things that is a bit different. I have been practicing with you guys as my guinea pigs for about a month, and I've been broadcasting to my Facebook page, Stamp Crazy with Allison page. Today, I've expanded that, and I am actually live in 3 different spots. I'm live on my page, just like I've always been. I'm also live on my YouTube channel, which I've never done before, and I am live in a Facebook group. So if you're in a Facebook group, I won't be able to see your name. It'll just say Facebook user. So if you wouldn't mind just typing in your name in the comments, then I can know that you're there. There should also be a way for you to give StreamYard, which is the streaming service, permission to show your name in Facebook group. That's Facebook protecting your privacy because you're in a private group. Okay. Oh, it's 6 a.m. I did the math wrong. Okay. Did the math wrong. Pauline says she'd be happy to be a guinea pig anytime. I think I'd kind of like to be a guinea pig too. All right, you guys. So I'm going to just go ahead because you're kind of all here. Or you will be watching on replay. So it looks like Pauline and Leanne and Mo are all on my Facebook page. And I've got a couple of people on my Facebook group, Border Buddies. Okay, so welcome. Thank you so much for joining me. I am Allison Sullivan. I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Vancouver, British Columbia in Canada. And my brand name where you can find me is Stamp Crazy with Allison. So, got someone in the Netherlands. It's midnight over there. Marie Jose. Oh, thank you so much for joining me. And then Leanne, are you saying no, you can't hear me on YouTube? Is that what you're saying? Can you kind of give me more information? Hi, Diane. I got your voicemail, but I was out, so I'll have to call you later, or you can email me your question. So I'm just going to wait and see if people on YouTube can't hear me. If you can't hear me on YouTube, I'm not quite sure what I can do other than just turn it off. That's kind of sad. But jump over to... Oh, you're watching me. Good. Oh, so everyone can hear me. Thank you, guys. Okay, let's get going before I get myself more and more confused. All right. So, you guys, let's start. Today, I'm going to make a card using the Harvest Meadow Suite Collection, which is the featured suite that Patsy Wagner, my U.S. Border Buddy, and I are presenting this month. So, let me show you. Now, the light's going to be a little bit hard on this page because it is a shiny catalog. So I'm going to kind of hold it up so hopefully that you can see it a little bit better. Okay. Now, love this suite. The other thing I like about this suite, other than the products, is the actual samples are absolutely gorgeous. And I don't always love the samples. Hi, Sharon, and hi, Kathy. Thanks for joining. Okay, so we have got quite a few products that coordinate together. So let me show you them, okay? We have got the Nature's Harvest stamp set, which hopefully if I kind of angle it, you can hopefully see. Oh, it's just the way the light is on a shiny object. Sorry, you guys. And then we also have the dies that go with it. So those are fabulous. Some of them cut out the images after you've stamped them, and some of them are just images that you use on their own, dies that you use on your own, okay? So that's the bundle, the Nature's Harvest bundle. And then we have the time-worn type 3D embossing folder, which is fabulous. It's sort of like a very vintage look. It looks like a bunch of typewritten words, and then they've been kind of, what's the word I'm trying to find here? Sort of like a vintage, look. They look like they've been rubbed. I know there's a better word. It's not coming to mind. That's okay. Then we've got the ribbon, which is, let's see here, what's the size? 3/8 of an inch, 1 centimeter of the diamond weave ribbon. Okay. And then we have the brushed metallic adhesive back dots. And then we've got the designer series papers. So there's a couple. The first one is this cork, which is absolutely gorgeous. It's just, I think it really is cork. It feels like cork. Oh, hi, Ellie. I think Ellie's comments aren't recording because I think she's watching me in my Border Buddy private group. If she comes over to the page, it will record. Hi, Carol. Okay. So this feels like cork. It looks like cork. It's got all the beautiful dimension and texture of cork. I love this paper. And then lastly, we have our Harvest Meadow Designer Series paper, which comes as a 12 by 12 sheet, 6 patterns, right? And then when you flip it over, you get another 6. So I have cut this down to 6 by 12 just because I wanted to be able to fill it in the screen so that you could see. Okay. Hi, Connie. Hi, Terry from Colorado. Welcome. All right. So that's all the products. Now let's make a card without further ado. All right. I'm going to start with the Misty Moonlight cardstock. This has been cut to 8.5 by 5.5 and then scored and at 4 1/4 to make our card front, just like normal. Oh, good. Hi, Ellie. I'm glad you made it. Okay. Now, what I've done, you guys, is I've gone ahead and embossed it with the time-worn type 3D embossing folder. Okay, so all I did, love this folder, was put my paper in up to the half mark and then run it through my my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. And I would have done that live, except that I want to use my mini for my rest of my die cutting, and this folder is too big for the mini. And I just didn't want to go back and forth and have a big machine here when I'm trying to record. Okay, so I figured that you guys probably have embossed before and probably know how to do that. All right. Hi, Carol and Christina. Gosh, you're all popping on. That's awesome. All right, so that's already done. You can set that aside. Now I've got some other papers that match. I just sort of pulled the colors from the designer series paper because sometimes that's a good place to start, right? If you've ever stuck for what you can make, sometimes what I'll do is if I'm starting with my designer series paper, I'll look at the coordinating colors and I'll pull every one of them out. Then I'll pull all the ink out that matches, and then I start creating from there. And it's just sometimes an easier way to do it. So I've got Calypso Coral, I've got the Soft Succulent, I've got just Very Vanilla, I've got a piece of the cork, and I have a piece of the designer series paper. Now this pattern mimics this time-worn type, okay? Because it's basically the same pattern. So I just wanted to kind of highlight that I'm using paper that's got the same design, okay? So let's start cutting some stuff out. I'm going to need some of my dies. I want to use this one here that we think is sort of like Canadian thistle. Not sure. And we've got our wheat And we've got our echinacea flower or cone flower. I am going to need the words, but I'm not going to grab those right now. Don't need them right this sec. Okay. And in addition to that, I wanted to cut out my designer series paper with the rectangular stitched framelits. I don't know if you guys have seen these. You probably have. Look at all these rectangles that you can pick from. There's just tons and tons of them. Okay. And I'm going with this size, which someone's going to ask me, what size rectangle is that? Let's see. It is 2.5 by 3 3/4 on the edge. Okay. So let's grab that one. And with those pieces, I'm going to bring in my little mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine because you see how you can see what's going on here. If I had brought in that big one, it would have been a lot of more difficult. Okay, I'm just going to adjust my camera, you guys. There we go. So as you know, I do a plate number 3 for my die cutting and my embossing. Okay, you're supposed to use the white one, but I don't. I find it grabs it much easier with this. So I'm going to place my designer series paper, and I've got my rectangle here. Okay, and then I'm going to put my clear plate on and run that through. Easy peasy. Oh, hi, Carly's watching. Hi, Carly. Take that off, and we've got our piece cut out. So I can set that aside and go on to my next one. So let's cut out some die shapes here. So out of my soft succulent, I'm going to cut that one that looks sort of like a Canadian thistle. I don't know if it really is a Canadian thistle. So lots of die cutting today. Of course, the set allows you to stamp and cut out images too. And I'll show you some other samples when we're done. Okay. Now you don't have to run this through twice, but I find if I run it back towards me, then it's in front of me rather than me having to constantly go over there and grab it. Just easy. Okay, so I've got that guy. I can set him aside. Okay, just get him out of here. Here he is. Okay. And then I've got my Calypso Coral. And that one I'm going to use my cone flower and cut that out. Now this set that I'm using, this suite, is the suite. Hi, Tammy. It is pretty colors together. See, that's why I always go, Terry, sorry, and go and look at the designer series paper because Stampin' Up! Knows what goes together, right? So I follow their lead. Okay, makes it easier. I like things that are easy. This suite is so fabulous that it is the featured class that I'm offering in September. We are in September, my goodness. And it's a class that I offer with my friend in the US. So if you live in the United States, you can actually purchase a class from her. Her name is Patsy Wagner. She's in Minnesota. And I'll have all the links. Today is the last day to register for our class by mail. Okay. So what comes in the class? Well, lots of fun stuff. You get the PDF with instructions for the 4 cards. You get all the materials pre-cut and ready for you to go. They're all in envelopes, mailed off to you, so it includes postage. And it's just $22 for 4 cards, like not just the PDF. You get the PDF and the actual, I hate to say card guts, but you know what I mean. That's 22 Canadian or 20 US. So really good deal. Now, if you're in Canada and you buy the bundle, so that's that stamp set and the dies that go together, then your class is free. I send you the class, the guts to make your cards. This one here, you guys, I want to show you how it is really, this paper is so beautiful, but it is quite fragile, okay? So, well, it's not really fragile, but when I cut this one particular die, I have to be really, really careful. So rather than just kind of pull it all off, I loosen it in more than one spot, and then I kind of pull it gradually off, okay? Does that make sense? So there's the other side. Isn't that beautiful? Okay. So I've got most of my die cutting done. The last thing I want to do is stamp an image. So I might as well do that now so that I can cut it out and then put all my stuff away. Oh, hi, Jennifer. All right. So we've got these words. I'm going to stamp it on the Very Vanilla. Sending healing thoughts, nature's beauty brings peace to your soul. We can all use a little peace in our soul, I think, right now. Okay, so now I'm just going to grab another one of the dies, which is this long label die, and we're going to cut that out. Once we've got that done, we're really on the home stretch. So I like to, sometimes I like to make cards that are more complicated, where I have to spend a lot more time, like coloring and stuff. I love that. But today I just wanted to do a quick card. Relatively quick, I think. Okay, so I'm going to send that through. And we are done with all our die cutting. Yay, easy peasy. Here we go. All right. So let's bring in our bits. So we've got our flowers and our wheat and our words and our die cut rectangle. And we've already pre-embossed. So for this piece, I want to pop it up. But before I do that, these are quite long. These die cuts, meaning that they go nicely this way on a card, right? But I wanted my card to go this way today. So I'm just being mindful that they are long. So I'm going to, just like I would if I was putting flowers in a vase, I'm going to see how long the stems need to be to fit on my card. So I can cut off the ends here, which I'm just going to cut off. Okay. Now I want to pop this piece up. So let's get some dimensionals going here. Anybody got any questions? No, it's pretty quiet today. Just watching. How many of you have got the Harvest Meadow Suite with some of the products? It really is gorgeous. Okay, go. Then I'm going to start by putting down the wheat first. At least, well, actually, I'm going to put the coneflower down first. So, you know my favorite glue, if you're watching. Hi, Mern. I'm going to just put my light stream of glue. Oh, good, you've used it tons. Oh, I'm glad, Sharon. That's great. Hi, Linda. Glad you joined us. Okay. And then I do want to add my same glue. Now, when I'm using the white glue, if you've used it in the past and you think, I don't like this glue, it hates me, just practice. If you just practice, and you can put little dots of glue on here. You don't have to put a whole mess. See how I'm just really adding very light glue. Some people like to use our adhesive back strips. So you glue the paper to the adhesive back strips. You run it through the die cut, and then you can peel it off and not have glue all stuck to it. That works. I just find this easier for me with this particular die. It's a very fragile kind of die. Just, it's a bit long there, so I'm going to just angle it a bit more. Okay. So I sure don't want to cut the top off of my wheat. I can cut the bottom off, but I don't want to cut the top off. So then I think what I'll do is I'll just go like that, and then I will do a little trim here. Because it's okay that it actually goes right to the bottom, because it draws your eye down and it draws your eye out, so sort of beyond the paper, which is good because you don't want to get stuck in the middle, right? And then lastly, I've got my little thistles here. And for this guy, I do want to put on some dimensionals. I'm going to pop this piece up. Was that your favorite glue, Leanne? See, Leanne, I'm looking at my Australian Leanne. You see, this is why we love each other, because we like all the same things. Leanne and I have been friends for many years. I don't even know how many now, man. I don't know, 7 or 8. She lives in Australia, and you may think, well, that's interesting. How did you become friends with someone who lives in Australia? Well, years ago, she wrote to me and asked if I had a particular retired die. It was the bears. Remember those bears? Build-A-Bear? And I did, but I told her, oh, I can't sell it to you because you're in Australia. And she says, that's okay. My cousin lives in Calgary, and you can give it to them because they're coming home. Okay. Anyway, long story short, we started to communicate online, and she started following me. And then one day she said, because she loves Canada, she said, we're coming to Canada. Anyway, she came to one of my clubs, her and her sister Sharon. And oh my gosh, it was so fun. My club members loved it. They loved it. And they've been back again. She came back with her family a few years ago, before COVID. And we had a lovely day together. And anyway, just goes to show, stamping is a funny thing, eh? That you meet people in this craft from all over the world, and you can become friends. And that's how we became friends. Oh, Marie Jose, I love Tombow. I always put it in a needle bottle. Oh. You put a needle so it doesn't. Yeah, that's a good idea. What I tend to do, you guys, is sometimes it gets gobbed up here, so I just pull it off. But if you want, and you have like a little disposable cup, you can just put the lid on and then just have it upside down. And then but she's saying, Marie Jose is saying that if you put a little needle in here, it won't get all gummed up. Very good tip. Okay, so now I've got my saying, but I want to put some of I'm trying to use as many of the products from the suite to show you. So let's bring in the pretty ribbon. And let's cut that. And to make this easy, because it's sort of like, how do I glue down the ribbon? To make it easy, I'm going to glue the ribbon to the back of my sentiment, okay? And I found, when I was playing with this today, glue dots would work well, but I found that the tear and tape, hi Gay, nice to see ya. I found the tear and tape is a little bit easier to add. Now, I have been asking you guys to share my video, and I really would appreciate if you would. And then I can put your names in a draw and send you the card. But if you're watching on YouTube, it's not possible to share. So I will put your names in the draw and put you in with the people on Facebook who share, okay? Just to make it a little bit more fair. Okay, so that's how I kind of want it. And then I want some dimensionals on the back to pop this whole thing up. And plus the dimensionals will keep that ribbon in place even more. I'm talking away. Are you guys seeing what I'm doing? Thanks for sharing it, Sharon. Appreciate it. Okay. Oops. Oops, coming off on my finger. There we go. All right. And then lastly, one last product is those backed dots, those brushed metallic backed dots. Say that 3 times. So I'm going to grab that. And I want to use sort of one of each color. So I've got a brass and gold and brass. And now we'll just put a copper on there. I think a big copper. So many things to watch when I'm already doing this, you guys, is I got to watch what I'm doing. I got to watch the screen. I got to answer comments. So excuse me if I'm a little all over. Oh, yes. Connie is saying that she has the stamp set, but the dies are on back order, and that is true. They are coming in soon. I think the 13th of September. So you'll be able to get it again. Bye, Josie. Okay. I think I caught up a little bit. I might have missed some as it scrolled by. Okay, so there's the card. Let me lower this a titch so you can see a little better and get all of this stuff out of the way. There we go. So what do we think? Now, they do really go great together, don't they, Sharon? And again, if you heard my tip at the beginning, I just use the colors that are suggested. So here's colors that are suggested, right? Calypso, Bumblebee, Soft Succulent, Misty, Moonlight, and Crumb Cake. So covered, right? Now, if you are ever stuck and you think, oh my gosh, I have lost my mojo, I want to show you something and how I started and thought about this card. If I turn to page 57 in the catalog, I'm hoping that you can see this card right here. Now, it uses a totally different stamp set, but can you see that it's exactly the same layout? I've moved things around and I haven't got it all bunched over here, and I haven't stamped this piece, but I've used this as a place to start. And sometimes if you look in the catalog and you're really stuck, this is a great way to do it. On Thursdays, every Thursday on my blog, stampcrazywithallison.ca, you go to my blog, you will see a card that I've created or my partner Patsy Wagner in the US, one of us has created for our blog that actually is a cased card. Cases copy and share everything. We use the term copy and selectively edit. And that's what we do. Okay, so pretty simple. So just before we go today, let me hopefully grab some other cards that I can show you that I have made with this bundle. If you haven't seen it already, I made this one on a prior Facebook. And if you look on my YouTube channel, you'll see where it is. Hi, Candy. Oh my gosh, nice to see you here. Leanne says that she keeps all her past catalogs because of that very reason, that she can then use it for inspiration, right? So very true. I love this card. Okay, and then let's see what else I've got here. I made this one the other day. I think it was on a Sunday sketch. I'm online 3 times a week, generally. Okay, so that was one. And then the class that we were, I made this one, sorry. Let me get this one. This one's one of my favorites. I love this one. Okay. And now I'm going to give you a little peek at something. This card here is one of the cards in the class. So remember I was talking about the class with 4 cards? This is one of the cards from the class. So registration ends at midnight, I guess, tonight, September 8th. I'll put the links in. I really hope that you'll join me if you live in Canada, or join Patsy if you live in the United States. I also saw the PDF only, and it's $12, and there's 4 cards. So up to you how you want to do that. And I'm going to just pop back over here. And there I am. And just to say thank you so much for coming today. I really appreciate it. And it looks like everything's working. YouTube is working with Facebook and so on. So that's exciting. I really appreciate you guys joining me from wherever. And I'm looking through and I can see where you're coming from. So I love that. Jay Walker from Ontario, California, Colorado. So if you don't have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, or you aren't a demonstrator in the United States, consider checking out my friend, Patsy Wagner from Minnesota, Alexandra, Minnesota. Yeah, so you guys found me on lots of different ways. So thank you so much, you guys. My next live will be tomorrow night. That's Thursday at 7 p.m. Pacific time. So if you're in the East, it might be too late for you, but there's always a recording that you can watch later. And then again on Sunday at 10 a.m. Pacific time. Okay, so thank you so much, you guys. Happy stamping.